It's that time again. Coming up on the 9, we're hitting the road for our next zip trip. This time, we're on the Peninsula.
It's a magical place that you come, you feel like you've come really far away, and it's an escape.
So saddle up.
You step off the highway, you come here, and it's country. You get on a horse here, you start wanting to say y'all.
And get ready to take a bite out of some of the best treats around.
Oh, cappuccino and pumpkin. That's the one. But I have to watch what I get because I will eat them all.
You won't want to miss taking it all in.
Every day I wake up and there's the hum and the rhythm of the farm, the animals, the clinker-to-clanks, the people. It's a wonderful life.
As we take you on a zip trip to the Peninsula. Burlingame Avenue has never looked better. Welcome to Mornings on 2 the 9. It's our zip trip featuring the Peninsula. If you haven't been here, you should come. It's a perfect day. So many people walking to get their morning cup of coffee, taking their pandemic pooch out for a quick trip around the block as well. I see parents pushing strollers, people making business deals. This is one of the most serene places to be on a gorgeous Friday morning. We are on the Peninsula for our zip trip featuring all wonderful things that start with a 650 up front. Good morning to you. I'm Gassia Micaeli and Sal here right by my side. This sort of feels like home to you, I imagine.
It sure does. You remember when we did our very first zip trip in Livermore?
Right.
And you were beaming with pride because you
more
grew up
proud.
in Livermore.
Yes.
Well, I grew up down here on the Peninsula. And even though I don't live here anymore, it still feels like home. It still feels like I could just pop over to Behan's and get myself a pint if I wanted to, just a few blocks away. So we are going to be exploring the Peninsula. There's plenty good to do and plenty good to eat here, Gassia, and we're going to hear a lot about that.
Absolutely. I had to drive by Royal Donut without stopping this morning, so maybe I'll pick one up on my way out. We have crews all over.
Yes, we do. Actually, we do have crews. We have Frank, who is going to be talking at one of these wineries here. And Claudine has my favorite story, I think. It's hard to pick a favorite, but she's going to be talking about one of my favorite treats, Gassia, which is It's It, a little later on.
Absolutely. So we have to save ourselves for the ice cream later and maybe a burrito to close out the show. Don't worry, we'll get there first. We have to start with our Frank Malacote. You're live at Angelica's, featuring all the wonderful things they have there.
I am. This is usually Sal's domain, but I get to go restaurant hopping a little bit. We're at Angelica's. It's on Main Street here in Redwood City. I'm told it's California cuisine with a little Latin flair, and I'll tell you why, because the owners are right here. It's Peter and Angelica herself, who's also the head chef, the Cacheris. How are you?
Good. We're doing fantastic. Thank you for coming.
All right. And Angelica, I know your food is influenced by where you grew up. You're from Mexico. You grew up in Great Britain, but you're Sicilian. So this menu must be off the charts.
That's correct. So right now we have the seafood crepe right here, and we have the lechera pancakes with a little bit of twist, and my chilaquiles, which is a little bit different from everybody else. Everybody says, how do we eat this? Just look at them and I guess just take a picture and that's it.
I was saying I'm going to Instagram all this food before you. What exactly is that?
It's chorizo, and it's the eggs and queso fresco, and it's really good. You have to try it.
Well, they do breakfast. They also do lunch. And Peter, you got quite a dinner menu as well, right?
Yes, we do. We have an incredible dinner menu. And again, here's the chef that does it all.
All right. Well, let's talk to her.
Yeah, so we do the chileton, which is with a little bit of flair of Argentina, and we do a lot of different meats. We do carnitas as well. So we do a pato with mole. The mole is from Jalisco, from my town. Right. And it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more on the sweet side. We also do the chicken with green mole, which is a little bit different as well.
All right. Well, your menu's been kind of changed a little bit because of COVID. Tell us what happened. I know you guys are doing well now, but it's been a tough 18 months.
Yeah, during the COVID times, because we were doing more live entertainment, doing a lot of jazz, my wife, especially, and my daughter, come up with the idea that we should change the menu because our crowd's going to change.
Right.
So we adapted for COVID, and this is what happened. She created all of these. She did a great job creating it all. So we went from richest to even richer.
Well, that's great. That's great. And how big is there? How many seats are in the restaurant?
We do about 350, right?
Oh, my
Yes.
God.
350 seats.
We're only in the courtyard. The restaurant goes all the way to Main Street. The food looks delicious. I'm told you're going to feed us maybe at the end of this?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, that's a good thing. Well, nice to meet you both.
Pleasure.
Nice meeting
And
you.
your food looks fabulous. Sal, you missed out, pal. I know you'd be here.
Well, you know what? Gassia and I were just talking about food, and I'm missing the chilaquiles, but look at what Gassia has. Gassia, what is that?
Can I tell you, the generosity of the local, I don't want to dump them out, the generosity of the local businesses here. This is from Busy Lizzie's right across the way. People are coming out, saying hello, dropping treats. So I don't know if you can have a cookie before the chilaquiles, but we'll figure something out.
Yeah, it doesn't look easy to eat when you're on the air, so I'm going to skip it for now.
After. Just such hospitality out here on Burlingame Ave.
Everyone's being really friendly. Now, one of the things that we know about the peninsula is that there are a lot of hidden gems, Gassia, things that you wouldn't think you'd be able to do, and that's exactly what I found when I drove by on Skyline Boulevard near John Daly. I found Mar Vista Stables, and I find that people are riding horses there, and they also have a summer day camp for kids. Let's see what I found. Horse riding seems like something you wouldn't think would happen so close to San Francisco, yet this horse stable has been in Daly City for more than 100 years. Along this beautiful, often cool and foggy coast, just south of Fort Funston, horse rides go down the rolling hills and to the beach weekdays and weekends.
We are the hidden gem. Here we are in San Francisco, just outside the border in Daly City, and you step off the highway, you come here, and it's country. Toes are always up.
David Ingram manages Mar Vista Stables and says he absolutely loves being on a horse and everything that comes with it.
You get on a horse here, you start wanting to say y'all.
He says this is the perfect place to come if you've always wanted to ride and you've never done it. No experience necessary.
No experience at all. I actually tell people when they come, I haven't ever ridden before. And I'm like, you've come to the right place. This is the place to do that. So we have the majority of our horses are for beginners. We have a couple horses that we can put more advanced people on.
We watched Elk Grove resident Sarah Gonzalez enjoying her first ride as part of a group.
If you want to make your horse go, you always want to click with your mouth.
Led by experienced wranglers. She says she found this place by word of mouth.
I was recommended by one of my friends, and they were here last week.
Along with rides for adults, Mar Vista Stables also offers a summer horse riding day camp for kids. Young people are taught to ride and are shown what goes into caring for horses.
We do camps all through summer. We're coming to the end right now. It booked up pretty early, but we have a really decent camp where they get to ride a couple hours a day.
Although summer camp for 2021 is sold out, daily rides are available for anyone aged 8 years and older 7 days a week. If you come here and want to ride, guided trail rides depart at 10 a.m. and 12 noon, and it's cash only.
Yeah, come on down. It's the ranch. Come on over.
You know, one of the things about horse riding in Daly City is that you wouldn't expect it, because just down the hill there, you go down to John Daly Boulevard, there's Westlake Joe's, there's the Home Depot there, there's all kinds of bustling business, right? And then you just go up that hill, and there's the horse riding right along the coast. So if you don't know it's there, now you do.
It's a true hidden gem, not far from where we are here on Burlingame Ave in Burlingame. Something I've driven by 100 times, you two probably on 101. It's the It's It Ice Cream Factory.
Oh, yeah.
And our Claudine Wong, lucky gal, takes you inside. I mean, these, I don't even want to call them ice cream sandwiches, right? Because they are that times 100 million.
I want one.
Cappuccino is my favorite flavor, in case Mr. or Mrs. It's It are listening. When we come back, we're going to take you inside this true Bay Area gem, tell you all about these famous ice cream sandwiches that my father cannot resist. So stay with us. Claudine is up next with that. What a gorgeous day to be out here on the peninsula. I'm not in the water. These guys and gals are. They're a little bit braver than I am. Stay with us on the Zip Trip. Welcome back to Mornings on 2 the 9. This morning, Zip Trip finds us on the beautiful peninsula. My fast track actually got a workout for the first time in a long time because those of us in the East Bay kind of think of this place as sort of unique and exotic and special, and there's so many things to discover here. Some of them you might already know about.
Did you go Bay Bridge or San Mateo Bridge?
I went San Mateo.
Okay.
San Mateo.
All right, just
all
had
the
to
way.
know to come over to the peninsula. We are on the road, and Claudine Wong has this enviable assignment. And Claudine, I don't know how you drew the short straw or the long straw to get this assignment for It's It, because people who don't know what It's It is, it's an ice cream sandwich, but really, can we describe it as an ice cream sandwich, Claudine?
I don't know. It's just an experience, really, right? I feel like every time I've been hanging out with you guys, it's kind of a question of, is it too early for this? So, right, when we were in the East Bay, I'm like, is it too early for barbecue? In the North Bay, I'm like, is it too early for some bubbly? Well, this morning, the question is it too early for ice cream? I think Dacia said cappuccino was her favorite. Is it too early? The answer is absolutely not. It's not too early for ice cream, especially if it's an It's It.
3 strawberries, 3 blueberries, 1 mint, 2 cappuccinos.
When it comes to It's It ice cream sandwiches, there are just 2 questions you need to ask yourself. How many and which flavors?
Oh, cappuccino and pumpkin. That's the one. But I have to watch what I get because I will eat them all.
No matter what you pick, you get a piece of San Francisco history with an It's It.
Well, It's It, it started in 1928 at Playland by the beach. And it was there for many years till 1970-71 when they tore down the beach. And we bought the trademark, the word It's It. And we started making our own cookies, our own formulas. We get the milk from the local farms, we process it here, and we get the whole thing together, the ice cream, the cookies, and the chocolate, and it becomes the good old It's It.
Company President Charles Shamir says It's It is all about family.
We're a family company, and it's owned by 3 families. Basically, we're going to keep doing what we're doing.
Did everyone get along?
Oh, yeah, definitely. For over 50 years, yeah.
And when it comes to how an It's It is made, well, as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We have a formula that we haven't changed since we started. So if you start eating an It's It like a year ago or 10 years ago or in the next few years, nothing's going to change. We use the best product. We don't have to use preservative because we make the cookies ourselves, and it gets frozen within 3 to 4 days from being made.
But just because you have the right formula doesn't mean you can't mix it up with new products like the nuggets and the It's It minis. And don't forget those new flavors. Now the classic vanilla It's It is making some room in the freezer for mint and cappuccino, and more recently, strawberry, green tea, and pumpkin.
Well, it's like your own kids. You gotta like all of them. But my favorite really is still the vanilla, and the cappuccino is second.
In the last decade, the company also opened up its factory store.
A lot of people know the factory is here and they feel they drove past it on the 101 for years and years. The shop is a little newer, so not everyone knows it's here, but it's definitely worth taking the exit from the freeway and coming to find us. We have to fill the freezer here about once or twice a week, and that fits about 3,500, I believe. So we go through it. We definitely go through it.
This has become a favorite stop because while It's It is popular in stores all across California, it's only in a handful of states west of the Rockies. And past that, well, an It's It is tough to find. And if you want to find the newest flavors, this is the place to get them.
The strawberry's a little rarer. The cappuccino, I know, is off the shelves quickly. People buy a lot of those. Those are really good. My favorite's the pumpkin, though. I will always recommend that one.
Whatever you pick is bound to get you a few brownie points.
I do it every summer for the camp counselors. My kids will be very popular today, so yeah. They'll take the credit for my expense, right?
Way to go, Dad.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which brings us back to the only questions that really seem to matter. How many and which flavors?
And how long will this box last?
It will last us a couple weeks. Maybe longer if we're good.
Well, what fun is it to be good? All right, we're trying to make you a little jealous here. So we're showing you some of the offerings that we picked up from the factory store, the minis, which are fairly new. So these are the classic sandwiches that we all really like. And these nuggets, which, they told me, hey, you can eat just one if you only want one. But again, who does these? These have waffle cone pieces on them, so they're pretty cool. And that factory store, it is really fun to go. This is some merch, right? I've really got the whole It's It theme going here now. But it is just fun to go in there and stop by and really, when you talk about SFO and dropping by if you're coming home, what a nice treat coming off a plane, or if you're, just showing some people around San Francisco, this is the way to do it, I think.
Absolutely. Claudine, I'm jealous of your sweatshirt and the cappuccino. It's it right by your side. My little sister showed up with one of those variety boxes once to a family get together. We freaked. I haven't tried the pumpkin and the green tea I've also not tried, but I think the rest I've sampled at least once.
You know what? I'm going to have to go with the classic one, Garcia, but I do like the mint one too. Okay. So if I go to the store, if they have one or the other, I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Good.
All right. Well, coming up on this Zip Trip adventure, we're going to go to the town of Pescadero, where our very own Frank Malicote found a hidden gem. And first of all, you may not even know where Pescadero is, but once you get there, Malicote has some info that you need to know. That's coming up. Welcome back to the Peninsula, an area where I'm beaming with pride, just like Garcia was when we went to Livermore. And we're in beautiful Burlingame. The weather is nice. People are out here on Burlingame Avenue.
And I'll be honest, growing up in Livermore, coming to the Peninsula felt like going to Saturn, right? And so here we are. We're doing it more and more often. It feels a little bit better getting out these days safely, hopefully. Have you heard about the little town of Pescadero? Maybe you've heard about it, driven by it, seen the sign, but have you explored it? I've been there a number of times, but Frank Malicote, you and I had a good little talk in the newsroom the other day. What I thought I knew about Pescadero turned out not to be true, because have I been mispronouncing what I thought was Duarte's Tavern? I think I have been.
Yeah, that would be Duarte's Tavern. I met Mr. Duarte himself. He's a terrific guy, and we're going to go in and have a little artichoke soup there. But first, I got to just show you, look at this setup out here. We're at Angelica's as well. We're on Main Street. The champagne is flowing. I see a Bloody Mary over there. And some folks getting a nice kick on a Friday. I'm staring at some what looks like a delicious crab dish here as well. All right, let's go to Pescadero, shall we? It's not that far away. If you go to Half Moon Bay, you're about 14 miles south. If you're in Santa Cruz, it's about 35 miles north. It's a great little town known for its ranches. And if you take the family, I got to tell you, there's something for everyone there. Pescadero is just a quick half-hour trip south of Half Moon Bay. The views are out of this world on Highway 1, and on a weekday, you may have Pescadero Beach all to yourself, like Woodside's Jeff Kokos, who often comes to unwind.
I'm just fishing, that's all. Just enjoying the weather and fishing.
And you are all by yourself?
Yeah, it's great.
No, we're not in Portland, Maine. We are still in Pescadero. Say hello to the Pigeon Point Lighthouse. It is the tallest lighthouse right here on the West Coast. 115 feet tall, Pigeon Point was built in 1872, and it's become a beacon not only for boaters, but for artists as well. Half Moon Bay's Sue Hatfield says it brings her peace of mind, and the scenery, well, that's okay too.
I enjoy it because it is clean and pure, and sometimes I actually get to see a whale, and I don't know, it's refreshing, and it's not all touristy.
Tourists, well, you have to go downtown for that. State Street is just 2 miles inland from Highway 1, known for its trendy shops and the oldest Protestant church on the peninsula, and great food. Duarte's Tavern has been a fixture since 1894 and still very popular. It's a throwback family restaurant with its original bar. Seafood is a go-to, but their artichoke soup is legendary.
I never knew you could make soup out of artichoke. Just the hearts, yes. The leaves are a little chewy.
But the soup is amazing.
Yeah, the soup's good, yeah.
Well, I can vouch for that. And so can Marianne Peterson of Cupertino. A day at Pescadero is not complete without a bowl.
The artichoke soup is excellent. Yeah. It has been here for a very, very long time, I believe, and they do a good job.
If you want a delicious sandwich, check out the Arcangeli Grocery and Deli. Warning, bring an appetite.
This sandwich is so delicious. And look at this. There's a whole chicken in here.
You are so cute.
For family fun, the Harley Goat Farm is the perfect place to visit. It's kid-friendly. You can pet and feed the little ones, but you can't take them home.
I like the baby ones.
Yeah, they're kind of cute, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you want to take one home?
No.
Dee Harley founded the goat farm 30 years ago. All the milk from these nanny goats make wonderful cheeses and other products, all available inside their gift shop.
Every day I wake up and there's the hum and the rhythm of the farm, the animals, the clanks, the people. It's a wonderful life.
And the goats.
Well, of course the goats. It all starts with the goats.
On the trip back home, you'll notice all the plush farmland off Pescadero Creek Road. And when you're back on Highway 1, be sure and pull into the Pie Ranch farm stand. You will not be disappointed. Why did you stop at the Pie Ranch?
I saw signs for pie, and that was enough, I guess.
Yeah, do not forget the Pie Ranch. It is outstanding. There's lots of little shops along the way, so you got time. If you're on Highway 1, pull the car over, have a little fun. By the way, how's the food here, guys? Pretty good?
Oh, so good.
All right. I think I got to start eating, too. I've been looking at Crabs Benedict for 10 minutes now, so I'm going to dive in. We got trivia coming up in a little bit. We are at Angelica's right here on Main Street in Redwood City. Guys, back to you.
Awesome. You pick up a fork. We'll check back in with you in just a few. I mean, I just have to tell you, I was whispering to you, Sal, during Frank's story. If you guys haven't been to Harley Farms for the goats, it's an amazing place, especially if you have little ones, which I know you do.
Yep.
A blanket, some sunshine, you could spend the day. A gorgeous, gorgeous place to go.
You know, I'm getting Bay Area ideas, and I'm a Bay Area native from our zip trips.
Aren't
This is
you
awesome.
useful?
Right. So coming up, as I've gotten a little older, I like gardening now. What happened there, right? So this is a place on the peninsula that I may not have been interested earlier, but it's called Philole Gardens, and it's in Woodside. And one of those things that if you really love plants and beautiful scenery, we're going to take a tour with our very own Claudine Wong. That's coming up next on KTVU Fox 2 Zip Trips. Welcome back to Zip Trips. We're looking at Angelica's in Redwood City. Look at that food. People are having some fun right now eating this wonderful food in Redwood City. It's our Peninsula special. It's all about food, places, businesses, and even some hidden gems, Gassia, that we didn't know existed right here on the peninsula.
Right. It's a fun way for you to maybe discover some new things or rediscover things that you haven't done in a while. A lot of us like to stay outside these days, right, to stay safe and a little bit far apart from strangers. If you are a lady who lunches or a lady who likes to lunch, Claudine Wong has taken us to a place. Claudine, you have found some gardens that are just, I mean, spectacular and amazing. Don't even begin to describe what's happening at Philole Gardens.
Absolutely. I mean, don't we live in the most beautiful place on earth? I mean, we're coming to you right now from Pacifica with the gorgeous ocean behind us, and what a beautiful beach day. But just 14 miles from where we are is this estate, the Phialoli Estate and Gardens, that will take your breath away. It is a hidden gem. It's been there for so long, and so many of us just discovering it now.
For more than a century, Phialoli has been nestled in the mountains of the San Francisco Peninsula, offering an escape from a world that has grown and changed around it.
We have 16 acres of formal garden. Yeah.
So it takes a while to meander through this.
It does. It does.
It does take time to meander through Phialoli. From the sunken garden to the walled garden, there are countless spots to sit and enjoy the beauty. You can walk through its nature preserve or explore the grove of olive trees. This 654-acre estate feels like a stroll back through time.
All the walkways were the same. The plantings might have changed over time, but a lot of it's the same as well. It's a magical place that you come, you feel like you've come really far away, and it's an escape, and it's beautiful.
Phialoli has deep Bay Area roots.
I never realized how much history was here.
It was 1917 when William Bowersborn, a San Francisco native, built Phialoli as his retirement home. He had made his fortune in gold and wine, and eventually utilities.
One of Mr. Bourne's main causes, though, was water. So we're on the end of Crystal Springs Reservoir, and it was really important to him to create a public water system that the public could have access to. And so the Public Utilities Corporation was his company originally, and now it's where water from San Francisco comes from. So, so he really kind of helped to create that system, and that system still lives today.
20 years later, he sold it to the Roth family, who in 1975 gave it to the National Trust for Historic Preservation. From that point on, it has been a public property, and yet through the years, it has in many ways stayed a hidden gem.
I've lived here forever. I've seen the sign driving up 280 and stuff, but never really considered it until recently, and I'm glad we're here.
Today, Phialoli welcomes 300,000 visitors a year to see both the house and the gardens.
I just came up to the house and went, wow! I mean, it's pretty impressive.
And while walking into the 54,000 square foot house with its 56 rooms,
Waikiki, with its famous beach,
and the TV set still on, it does feel like time has stopped. The smell of cut flowers around the house is a reminder that there is still work being done.
It's a 100-year-old working estate, so we still do production. So this fall we'll have our orchard days when you can go into the orchard and see the apples and drink our hard cider and that we produce. So, so we're still producing things. We have jellies and jams and honeys and all kinds of things. But that's really one of the founding principles, was the estate was created so that it could feed everyone who worked here and the community. So that's still one of our principles that we carry.
Every season, visitors come to see the changing flowers. At night, music plays for concerts and people stroll through the gardens during art walks and wine weekends.
So we are in the rose garden. Roses are at their peak starting in June through the fall.
So this is the time.
This is it.
It is a mix of past and present that now more than ever offers visitors something quiet in these difficult times.
A lot of people came here for refuge and respite and recovery, emotional and physical. So, so we really provided that safe space.
The home that William Bowersborn built to be his personal escape has in 2021 become an escape for others. Maybe it's because more than a century later, the spirit of Phialoli has proven to be timeless.
Our founder named Phialoli after his credo, which is fight for a just cause, love your fellow man, and live a good life. Fight, love, live, Phialoli. So with everything that happened in 2020, you know, from the pandemic to the social justice causes, the credo really began to mean a whole lot more to our staff and, you know, to our diversity and inclusion work. And that was really important to us to think about what is a just cause today.
And so really, what a spectacular visit it was. I got to tell you guys, going through the rose garden, this is the time for the roses. But I started planning in my head. They've got wine tastings coming up. They say they decorate at the holidays as well. So they like people to stroll through those gardens and the house. And really, it's one of those places, again, where you start asking yourself, you're like, why is it taking me so long to get here? So that would be my advice, is to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been lucky enough to go, but you've taught me something. Fight, love, live. All right, Claudine, we're not done with you yet. She is featuring a total Peninsula thing next time we check in with her. So, Claudine, thank you. We'll see you in just a few.
All right, speaking of the Peninsula, San Mateo, you may not know, unless you're from here, that has a really great food scene. They have so many restaurants downtown. So I walked through one afternoon. I stuck to the downtown area, but I walked through one afternoon, Gassia, and I was hungry. I brought my appetite and my thirst. Let's taste San Mateo. San Mateo has a lot of restaurants, but for this assignment, I decided to focus on the downtown area where the city has blocked off traffic to facilitate walking and outdoor dining. We saw plenty of people taking advantage of the mild weather and the variety of restaurants.
We were just at B Street Vine, right down the way there. There's several restaurants here. It's a nice, good community.
One thing I haven't tried yet during this summer of eating fun has been a restaurant that makes Filipino food. Well, San Mateo has a restaurant to satisfy my craving. It's called Avenida. This restaurant makes modern Filipino cuisine, and right away I felt a welcoming atmosphere, which is typical of the culture. I saw delicious-looking plates being delivered to tables. Here there are lots of traditional Filipino favorites like pancit, lumpia, and chicken and pork adobo. So I asked about the most popular dishes, and out came two sizzling favorites.
This is our pork sisig, so don't be scared. It's part of the pig's head, a little bit of ears, cheek, but it's really good.
That looks delicious. And there's a fried egg?
Yeah, it's very classic street food in the Philippines. Like, you can find this almost anywhere. This is the number one that we have here, the crispy pata. It looks very intimidating, but man, when you like open it up and flip it over, there's so much meat. So much crispiness on the outside.
It was served with pickled papaya and carrots, which did a nice job balancing the rich meat dishes. If you haven't tried Filipino cuisine, this is a good place to start. If you're looking for a fine dining experience and modern Italian cuisine, all you have to do is go down the block to Pausa. First thing you notice is the contemporary design, spacious seating, and lively atmosphere. This restaurant is known for its fresh ingredients, including house-made charcuterie and Napolitano-style pizzas made in a wood-burning oven. Wood-burning grill also imparts a nice smoky flavor to many of the dishes. At the bar, Pausa is known for making a very good Aperol spritz. Steve Uger, one of the owners of Pausa, says his restaurant and San Mateo in general is seeing more people coming out again.
We're seeing people coming in from SFO, really reminding everyone of the pre-COVID days, and that's been very promising. So we're definitely on the upside of things.
Now, you know me, I have to try a place where I can just get a beer and maybe a quick bite. A few blocks over, I found Wurst Hall, a beer garden that serves sausages and sandwiches. I'm thinking of a brat with a side of tater tots washed down with a cold beer. Although you can sit inside on this beautiful afternoon, most people were outside hanging out.
We're lucky to have all this outdoor space.
I spoke with manager Kiernan Moran.
I think people want to be out and about. People want to enjoy themselves, and we try to make that as comfortable as possible for people. Come as you are, have a beer, hang out as long as you like, watch the Giants,
Yeah.
It's huge.
Well, and there were so many restaurants, Garcia, that I didn't get to try. Right. So even though I tried a good representation of them, there's still so many. And that's the thing that I found when I'm doing these taste segments. Yeah. There's a lot going on out there. A lot of these businesses are coming back. Right. And I am here for it. I am going to try every single one. Good. Even if it,
well, hey,
pumps me up a little bit.
Like I'll bring my stretchy pants and join you, and I'll say what I always say. But look, every time you spend $1 at a locally owned business, especially the restaurants that have been through an especially difficult year plus, they will appreciate it a lot more than you even know. So speaking of $1, let's talk about our next winner that we love to highlight here on our Zip Trips. This is our third Zip Trip of the summer, and it is time to unveil the next winner in our Fox 2 Foodie Contest. Congratulations, drum roll please. It goes out to an East Bay winner, Sheila from Oakland. She wins $250 plus a cool Fox swag bag. Sheila from Oakland, congratulations. Now, you at home have one more chance to win. If you'd like to see your name right in the middle of the screen announced next Friday, you can enter by scanning the code that's on your TV right now, or you can head on over to ktvu.com/contest. Also, this is important, Fox Primetime is all new starting on Monday. Join us in watching an all-new episode of Hell's Kitchen Monday night and the premiere of Fantasy Island. That's Tuesday at 9 right here on KTVU Fox 2. So let's talk about getting out and about, right? We've highlighted a lot of incredible restaurants across the peninsula, but a lot of you have been feeling the past year plus, I need to get a little more active, right? And a lot of people have been turning to our next guest. I'd like to welcome Todd Kelleher to this Zip Trip featuring the Peninsula. You are the owner of A Runner's Mind. You're a runner yourself. Tell me, you're here on Burlingame Avenue in Burlingame. Who's been coming into your shop this past year plus?
Well, it's been a mix. It's been our existing customers. Our communities have just been fantastic and very deliberate in their way of coming out and supporting small businesses and making their presence known. Okay. But it's also been New runners. The running industry, I mean, if you look at some of the big shoe vendors, some of them say they've added more than 2 million runners through COVID. And so we saw that as well, where we got families, entire families coming in saying, we need some exercise, or contacting us online, I should say. So it's really, it's been great. Now, you know, we were shut down for a period of time, and you can't recover from all of that, but the running industry has been a great one. And the other piece of that was, because we're involved with that, we heard about a lot of the best practices. So we were in early discussions about curbside and delivery and other types, because we had heard of that being successful elsewhere, and that was shared, you know, with the community here.
Todd, we were sitting here and a lady walked by and said, unfortunately, some of the mom and pop businesses along this very street have had to shut down, and some may not be coming back. Have you heard from these business owners saying, yes, I'm coming back? No, it's just been too much?
There are some businesses that won't be coming back, but there have been very few, and we don't know that they're necessarily gone for sure. And some of them were, you know, again, real estate decisions more than business or community decisions. So we've been very cognizant, particularly the city government, in you know, being early and understanding what's happening. We knew who was struggling. We tried to put programs in. The city tried to put programs in place to focus on those. So we tried to make sure that everybody was, you know, as soon as one business got better, you know, that the tide raises all boats, and we tried to share a lot of those best practices and make progress.
And before we have to wrap up, because we have an expert here, I feel like every month I say, this is the month I'm going to start running again, right? It hasn't happened yet. For that first timer who maybe is inspired hearing your words, what's the best way to take that first step in hopefully becoming a jogger or a runner?
Well, I tell you, it's really easy, and it's come to our store. I mean, we teach you how to run. You are going to understand what running means, and because you're going to run on a video. We're going to show you what the movement of your body is to get you in those right shoes and make sure you're off to the right type of experience. And we've got running groups and things like that. It is a wonderful sport, and especially if you're taught properly how to do it to lessen the impact, keep that at a minimum. You know, come in and we're going to put you in some shoes, and if they don't work, you know, we'll work with you until they do. And,
really? You can teach me how to run?
I can.
Really?
I can. I promise you.
Okay, you'll teach me how to run.
Both of you. 2 for 1.
There you go.
Todd Kelleher from The Runner's Mind.
Well,
thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for being here and shedding a light on our vibrant community.
Absolutely. It's a joy to be here. All right, let's talk about, you know, we've been highlighting the Peninsula all this past hour. And, you know, maybe you made a couple trips here. Maybe you grew up here, thought you knew everything. Guessed what? You don't. Even you, right, who grew up within a stone's throw of where we are. When we come back, we're going to do one of my favorite parts of every Zip Trip. We are testing your Zip Trip trivia all about the Peninsula. We'll have the result. Okay, Sal's right. I'm going to grade you on this. This is not a pass-fail. This is like ABCDF. Stay with us. We are testing your Peninsula Zip Trip trivia when we come back this morning on the 9. Hey, welcome back to the 9, Burlingame Avenue, waking up and buzzing in this gorgeous Friday morning sunshine. If you haven't been here, get here early in the day, park your car once, and you can spend the entire, we're talking breakfast, lunch, dinner, and dessert, Sal. There's a lot more to do than just shop and eat as well. People love to just spend the day, relax. There's a little playground just a couple blocks over. We've spent the day there when my boys were super little. I mean, it is such a lovely place to find yourself on a Friday.
And the weather, look, the weather's getting much better. We got here, it was completely cloudy. Now the sun's beginning to come out, and more people have come out. At first it was jacket weather. Now you see that gentleman there with a t-shirt. So it is going to be another great Peninsula day, and that's one of the sells of the Peninsula, Gassia, is the weather's nice and mild, not too hot, not too cold. All right, so how much do you actually think you know about the Peninsula? All right, if you're scoring at home, go ahead and yell out the answers, because our Frank Malacode does have some trivia to talk about, and he has some questions and answers that some people had a hard time answering, others not so much.
Very true, Sal. Our crack staff went to work, and our first question will take you out to the coast, where a peninsula town's name might be just a little deceiving. Here's your Zip Trip trivia here on the Peninsula. How did the town of Pacifica get its name?
I don't know, because it's by the Pacific.
One would think.
Location to the ocean? I don't know.
And what ocean is that?
The Pacific Ocean?
That is
pretty smart.
Incorrect, actually.
What? Really?
Yeah.
From the Pacific Ocean.
Wrong.
Okay. I just was reading about Pacifica. Harold Pacifica settled there.
Harold Pacifica?
I thought it was Walter.
Probably Captain Pacifica stopped by.
That's true.
Okay.
No, that's not true. No, actually it means peaceful in Spanish.
Okay.
It's been nicknamed the Dead City because more people are buried there than live there. 1,000 to 1. Any idea what city that is?
Do I get to make a phone call?
Colma.
Excuse me?
Colma.
You must have family buried there.
Nope.
Nope?
Nope.
How'd you
They're
know
on
that?
set because I lived here all my life.
I'll say Colma.
Colma. Why? Why Colma?
Because of all the cemeteries up there.
Colma.
Colma. Colma. How did you know that?
I know everything.
She's from the area.
I lived on the peninsula for 23 years.
All right.
There's people dying to get in there.
She's here all day, by the way. Iconic rock band. Their very last concert as a group was in August of 1966. And it was at a big stadium in San Francisco. Can you name the band and can you name the stadium?
Candlestick and Crosby, Stills and Nash.
Crosby, Stills and Nash.
And Young.
Teach your children.
No, good guess.
I got the Beatles.
You got the Beatles. You are correct.
The venue. I
Hello.
don't know the venues.
66. Iconic rock band. Your era. My era.
Doobie Brothers.
Well, let me get the question.
Oh, sorry. 1966 Candlestick Park.
Wow, and you were there.
Well, in mind, not in body.
All right, well, that was August the 29th, 1966. The Beatles' last concert together at Candlestick Park. They played 11 songs for a little over an hour in front of 25,000 people. And my brother Mark, by the way, was there. He was 16, and I have his ticket stub, which I cherish. Huge Beatle fan. One more time for Angelica's. We're on the patio in the front, on the patio in the back, and take a look inside. This place is voluminous. It's beautiful. They got flora, they got fauna. All they need is you to come on down and enjoy a great meal down here. They've been very, very hospitable. And Sal, as I toss it back, I think you're on to something with this food thing. Maybe a little.
You know what? Frank? Those chilaquiles that you showed at the top had me from minute one. All you had to say is chilaquiles, and I'm there. And by the way, nice vocabulary. Voluminous? Are you kidding me? Wow.
Yeah, Frank's bringing it. All right. Frank, thank you so much. Oh, yeah, hey, you're a pro. You taught us so many things this morning. I mean, look, I almost hate to go from like chilaquiles to like a bean burrito, but stay with me here, right? Sometimes it's about the food. Sometimes it's about the view. Our Claudine Wong is at a Pacifica spot that, I'll be honest, Claudine, you and I, we both grew up here. I didn't know that place existed until I became a reporter here at KTVU, I think 8,700 years ago, and one of the photographers said, hey, let's stop there for lunch. I was floored.
Well, we are in one of the most beautiful places in the world, and one of those famous spots here is, of course, Taco Bell in Pacifica. It has been called the most gorgeous Taco Bell in the world, and I want to show you why. I'm going to put on my mask so we can take you inside this Taco Bell, because you're going to see why, and there's a lot of reasons why this is so famous. All right, I'm going to let photographer Keith Crook on in this door so we can go in and check it out. So it is about the food when you talk about it, but it really is also about something else. James Amon, who's the area coach for Taco Bell, and this is the most famous, most beautiful Taco Bell in the world.
Absolutely.
Part of it is the view that we'll show you in a minute, but part of it is this. Tell me what's happening over here.
Well, we are a traditional Taco Bell, but we also serve alcohol. Who wouldn't like a taco and a Modelo, right? Or a Twisted Freeze.
Right. So what do people come in here for? We're starting with the beer because that is so cool. Tell me about this beer bar here.
So the beers, we have 4 on tap, and it's a bottoms-up system, so it eliminates the waste and pours a perfect beer every time.
You push it down, and then when she pulls it back up,
the magnet seals the hole in the bottom, so when you come, the only thing that you don't want to do is put your finger in the bottom, because you'll end up wearing the beer in your lap.
Which, that's okay too. All right, you also have wine. So you have beer, we have wine.
We have our Taco Bell Cantina White.
Of course.
It's made in Sonoma. Our franchisee owns a winery and makes this wine. It's a great white wine.
And then you've got the stuff in the back, which I think that's a pretty famous thing to get here.
Those are our signature products. We have our Twisted Freezes. So we have Margarita, Mountain Dew Baja Blast, and the Beach Berry. And you can have those with tequila, vodka, or rum, or sangria with the berry. So those are very popular on a sunny, hot day on beachgoers.
Oh, are they very popular on any day? Because it's cold down here sometimes in Pacifica, but it doesn't seem to bother anyone. Tell me about this concept, though, because, you know, it's different. You're not. I don't want everyone to go to Taco Bell and think, is this a thing now at every Taco Bell?
No, we do have, we're a part of Diversified Restaurant Group, so as of right now we have over 200 Taco Bells. We also have 5 cantinas, 4 located in California and 1 in Las Vegas, Nevada. The 4 in California, we have San Francisco, Pacifica, San Ramon, and Danville, and each is unique in its own separate way.
But let's grab our drinks. I want to show you people what is unique, not just about...
All right, let's go.
See. I'm going to grab the beer. Can I grab the beer? Okay, we're going to go outside. Thank you for the drinks. And I want to show you why this Taco Bell is the one that's called the most gorgeous, because you have a different kind of business model for all of them, but this is why everyone really loves this Taco Bell particularly.
Absolutely. You can't beat the view, and again, sitting out here watching the ocean and waves, it's just relaxing and tranquil.
Do you think the internet also has just made this place, you know, you've been a cantina for 2 years, so it hasn't always been this way. This Taco Bell has been here for a long time, some decades underneath it, but only in the last couple of years has it become this cantina. And then when you get on a blog or you get on an influencer site, all of a sudden the line is out the door.
Exactly, and we're busy every day of the week, from individuals all across the United States and the country. We have people from out of the country. This is definitely a destination spot, and you know, we welcome everybody here and enjoy the community. The community's great.
Like everything else, it's an experience. I should tell you, we've got merch as well. Hold on, let me put on my sweatshirt. Give me a second here. James, thank you so much. Oh, I can't get my sleeve in because it's so big. This is what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to take off my mask now that I'm outside. I'm going to belly up to the edge of this bar, and I'm going to enjoy my beer. Maybe.
You know what? Oh, my goodness. You know what? Go ahead, girl. My goodness, enjoy that beer. You know what? And Claudine just gave us, or gave away one of the secrets of the peninsula that, you know, people drive by and, oh, it's a Taco Bell, right? But you didn't know it had the great view. And those of us who have grown up in the area, I had one of my high school buddies come down. I asked Max, do you remember the Pacifica Taco Bell? And he says, of course I do. Come on.
I want to hear those stories.
All right, well, coming up in the next week or so, we're going to have another zip trip. We're not done, as they say. We ain't done yet. We have another zip trip coming up this next week, and we've had a lot of fun taking trips. We still have more things to show you around the Bay Area, so stay tuned for that. That is all coming up in the next few weeks. Well, welcome back to Zip Trips. We are here on the Peninsula, and before we go, Gassi, I do have to mention that when I was doing the taste segment, so many people wrote in with their suggestions. I have to give a shout out to Little Luca's in South City. We did a Zip Trip, you may remember, a couple of years ago, and this sandwich shop is the real deal. I had so many people flooding my inbox saying, how come you haven't gone there? Well, maybe because you didn't watch 2 years ago and you didn't know that I did this, but I ate my way through that place a couple of years back. It's a great sandwich shop right there on El Camino Real in South City.
I mean, 100%, I think the viewer participation and involvement is the best part about these Zip Trips. You guys are teaching us stuff. Hopefully we're teaching you a little bit as well. We have had people come down and say, hey, thank you for shining a beautiful spotlight on gorgeous Peninsula Avenue. We have It's delivered, so this is for Cappuccino's mine. You get the traditional. So we're going to down these as soon as we sign off. We have to remind you, though, guess what? Next week, next Friday, yet another Zip Trip featuring the gorgeous South Bay. Stay with us. Look, it's today. What are we going to find next Friday? You let us know.
Pacifica.
Have a great day out there. Thanks for joining us. What a beautiful Friday. Enjoy. Thanks for joining us on the Zip Trip.